Hi everyone.
Hi.
Give me just a couple of minutes to provide
Yeah,
the link.
the link and the time that someone join us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so let's wait. Who just join us, please write something in the comments that we can see you are with us.
Hi everyone.
Hi to everyone. Yeah. As usual, let's start with having your drink of choice. As usual, I have a tea. Ludmila, what about you?
Tea today.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
again, double this week. Double kill.
Yeah.
Maybe while the others are joining us, you can share your impression about the task. Was it easier or was it more challenging? Because we were afraid that it's just too little time for you, but well done.
Yeah. We today we have 11 works completed, so it's quite good. Maybe someone too shy to send us. You definitely should try by yourself, so don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, maybe the last minute to like think about the questions, think about the main troubles. I see that, yeah, not enough time. That's
Mm,
understandable. That's understandable problem. But you will see that some works maybe are not so long, but the examples of checks are pretty good.
yeah, yeah. So uh, we decided even to prolong the deadline till 7 p.m. and have our online event at 8 to give you possibility like write something. It also we had a comment that the time uh, is not very
Lack of
good, but
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's too late
It's
this
too
time.
late for
Yeah,
the meetings, yeah. But the
yeah,
idea to hold this meeting late in the evening actually was to provide you with uh,
yeah.
more.
Time to perform the tasks. We understand that maybe a lot of you are working, so but hope hope it will be useful. So let's start. And today our topic is test design. What does it mean? This is a separate phase in our testers activities when we should prepare for further testing. So we performed requirements analysis, but we can't start testing right now because we need to do some preparation to create to write down our thoughts what should be tested, not to forget our verifications, not to forget to verify everything. Also, why we need our test cases checklist to see our progress, to see in general if our application is good or not. So this was mentioned in our articles. Please recheck this. And there are two types of testing documentation: checklists and test cases. Checklists even more difficult than test cases. Usually, everyone knows that checklists are a set of ideas, but this is true, but at the same time, we can use checklists on our project for testing our application. So this checklist, this is not like just set of ideas. They should be understandable. These checks should be verifiable, and so on. So there are a lot of requirements requirements for such checklists. At the same time, we can use test cases. So usually on the project, we select will we use checklists or test cases. We suggest you to do like to create today and checklist and test cases just to have a more practice. But usually we select just one. And also, we there are a lot of test management tools for creation test cases, but and or checklist. But Ludmila, what do you
But
think here?
yeah, but maybe they are not so important. I don't mean that they are not important, but maybe it's even easier for you to use them after you've got a good knowledge of test case attributes and so on. It's quite easy to exercise writing different types of testing documentation using, I don't know, Excel, Word, whatever you want, and still you will be good at writing test cases in TestRail, in Jira, because the same fields, that's going to be even easier. So when you, I don't know, like in the vacancy, in job vacancy, you see that you should possess the knowledges about TestRail. Don't be afraid, you've already possess knowledges enough to create a test case in this system. If you do not believe, just try free trial version and you will see that you already know how to use these test management tools.
Yeah, yeah. So if you can write checklist or test cases in Excel, you can write it everywhere in every tool. Okay, the next important thing which I would like to emphasize that your checklist checks and or test cases should be functional. What does it mean? We have a form, you remember, I hope, with a lot of fields and with buttons. So when we verify this like a function to create functional verifications, we should fill all the fields and press the button. This is very important. When you are filling just one field and waiting, nothing happens. This is not a functional verification.
Yes,
Always,
sometimes immediate validation for the field is
yeah,
possible, but again, one example from my practice, I always like telling about it when we've implemented a new feature and it was connected with adding images to the offices. And when you were trying to uh, upload invalid file, the field was highlighted in red, warning message appears, and still after clicking save message, inappropriate image with an appropriate format was saved.
save
So
button, you mean, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So
Wow.
do not believe even immediate
Even
uh,
with warning messages, right?
validations, yeah.
Wow.
Always full functional check means to fill on the fields and of course click the button.
Yeah, it's interesting. And also, one more thing to mention that while creation your testing documentation, you even still can have questions to the requirements, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you're not so experienced in this field, yeah, in QA, while creating your test cases, you will find out, oh, okay, so I missed these questions. I do not
Yeah,
have this information.
yeah.
I hope you remember that we emphasized it yesterday. It is very important to have all the data for future testing. So today, if you haven't asked all you need, you you'll probably have some problems.
Yes, yes. So, but here we just like recommend you to remember these questions which were not asked you by on a previous stage and do this in the next time. So it's not a problem, I believe, because
Yeah, it's
you
it's
will.
it's experience, yeah, that
Yeah,
is so
yeah.
valuable for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start to review our works today. We have 11 works, as I say, and let's start. So, who will be the first one? Wow, it's number three. Cool. Let's go and see what is the task. So, work number three. Ow, ow, ow. Name.
Nobody
Okay.
knows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
So, cool. We have checklist and test
You
case.
can resize it. I suppose in this case that's possible.
Agree. I think it's enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we have a first start with checklist. Mhm. Um, it's like common verification. This one, second one is just GUI verification, ability uh, to type values the following fields. Maybe just here it's better to verify that the following fields are present on in the form, so it will be enough. Not
Yeah, because we are do not validate the user and his abilities, yeah,
yeah, or she, or
or
her, yeah,
her abilities, yeah.
yeah. But we can verify that
But GUI checks,
are
okay.
possible, and it's good to start with GUI verifications. For example, I usually told that when someone imagine that you are sitting in some room and someone tell you, please go and open the window, for example, what you do first? You know what? You see where's the window. So good, it's good to start with GUI verification, but we ask you not to focus on this. So okay, it can be skipped for now, but you should remember about this. This is very good. Has ability to check. Again, user has ability. Oh, I don't know about his or her ability. So it's this redundant verifications. A clickable, okay, it's possible. Redirect to appropriate application page, okay. It's better to specify what is appropriate application page. It should be asked during requirements analysis, but okay. Uh, but let's look at our really functional verification.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe it's better not to leave a request, but submit a request, yeah.
yeah. But here, what is the most important? We have name of fields with variety of uh,
Range of valid data.
validator. Yes, so the tester who will verify this will know the requirements and decided what to test, because we can't say our tester what to type, because each type when someone will do this check will write only, for example, test or Ludmila. This is bad, but when you specify for testers what can be typed here, so each tester can decide, is this very good?
Yes,
Uh,
this checklist can be used for actual testing. Remember,
mhm.
while creating your test documentation, that your main like goal is to test. So you shouldn't go to one document, then to another document. You shouldn't think, where can I find this data? All the data you need for testing should be like in one place in your
Yeah,
checklist or in your test case.
absolutely.
Focus only on the testing.
Mhm.
So that's
Uh,
a good functional check.
Very good. Yeah, very good. We have
And
like
even
common.
click the button. That's amazing.
Yes. So we have like a common phrase to understand what we should do here. Explanation with data and with the fields, and clicking the button. Full verification. Very good. Uh, Again, here I would like to emphasize the following things. In the checklist, it's possible to not to provide expected result like here, but actually we have expected result in this phrase, leave a request, okay. But we can just write something like fill all fields with valid data, it's okay. But at the same time, we can specify what we expect. For example, like in this case, so warning message appear if and even these fields are highlighted, very good, it was specifying correct requirements. After user inputs invalid data in the mandatory field. And here we can see what is mandatory. We remember that only English letters are possible, but all other fields are filled with correct data, and this is Amazing. Perfect. And
Yeah,
clicking the button.
that's
Wow.
that's like very common mistakes when our
Yeah.
students try to combine a lot of negative checks into one.
Hmm.
And usually, like, the best practice is firstly to check all the fields, all positive negative inputs separately. Checking all the fields with all possible negative data is a very extended check. It can be
Hmm. Hmm.
performed only after each field was checked for invalid input, while all other were filled with valid data.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is good. The next one, do you see the problem here? So we have one verification, but we need to enter less than 5 and more than 50. This is two
Sounds
separate.
a little bit impossible
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me.
How to do it in one verification? I hope we hope you understand this. So this is two different verifications, right? But all everything is okay except that. So now, good thing here that we go um, for each field and create a negative verification. But actually, there are a lot of verifications negative for one field. So here we should, for example, verify other letters, not English, not only Russian, any language except English. Here we should verify uh,
Special
special
character.
characters, yes, and do some domain verifications, but maybe we will explain it within the next or here. Ludmila, what you think next or here?
Yeah, maybe one more example. We
Okay,
will
yeah.
have one more example.
Okay, so so this is like a start, okay, but more negative verifications for each field should be added, and at the same time we should fill all other fields with valid data, all mandatory fields. I mean, cool. And here the time to say that it's possible, it's a good that you prepare just one good, for example, verification for start, and then just copy paste and changing one necessary thing, that's all. So we can use copy paste in checklist and test cases, but
Actively.
yeah, actually, but firstly, we need to prepare from what we will do this, not from requirements, it's forbidden, but it's better to reorganize it, to create one good verification and then copy paste it. Here we also have like verifications about cancel button, okay, confirmation message, but also this confirmation message should be added maybe here in our 10. So the following warning sorry, confirmation
Confirmation
message
message
appear,
appeared.
yeah, if user input valid data in mandatory fields. It's a bit not like a separate
Okay, and we have smoke test here.
oh yes, sorry. Okay, okay. So here we have a good set of all needed parameters, attributes of test cases. We have a priority, very good module. I will like do this to
Maybe
see.
I think it's not test case description, but maybe summary is like more
Yeah,
commonly used
yeah,
term.
or title, something like that, right?
Yeah, summary and title. Yeah, just like, but
Hmm.
still, you know that this attribute should be. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah, very important.
Cool.
So we have first one, it's a launching of our application. It's okay. And the next one is like positive filling mandatory fields, sending request. Um, okay, it's
Precondition, set of
the
steps,
yeah,
and
and here,
expected result
yeah,
for
I
each
would like.
step.
So again, each step we fill in one input, one field, or selecting something in a one step. You see these steps
One
for each.
action, one step.
one expected result for it. Here I also would like to mention that we have some other like
Highlighting,
formatting.
formatting,
Yeah,
yeah.
is this very good? And you see that it's for our eyes it's better. And also after clicking a button, request is sent and confirmation message appear. Very good, very good. And actually that's it. And we also agree that according to what is the smoke test, it's like the main functionality. In our case, it's like filling a mandatory field with valid data. This is like in theory what we should have in smoke test. In real life, I would like to add that usually we also fill all fields, not just mandatory, but all fields or
Yeah,
select,
like
the,
one more check, yeah, not
yeah,
only
yeah,
filling mandatory fields, just like filling all the fields with valid data and clicking
yeah, yeah.
find me a
But
friend button. Yeah,
yeah,
it also can be considered like a smoke test,
hmm
but
no,
still good example.
very good. And no other checks are needed. So very good, cool.
Let's move on.
So let's move on. I remember remove choice. And who would be the next one? Who, we'll see. Nah,
706.
7.
Okay,
7. Go to the 7 one.
what do we have here?
We have a
Checklist.
checklist here. Again, perfect.
What a pleasure, yeah?
Yeah, now I feel that my mission incomplete is completed in our in my life because it's very you
At
know
least during this week.
yeah, because if some people, 10 or maybe 50 or 500, will write checklist in such way, my mission is done regarding checklist because
Luda as a tester who has a pain to checklist because
yeah, yes, because in theory we have this set of ideas. That's all. No, we can use it for testing. Here, very beautiful. We have a common face. We can understand what should be emphasized in this verification. We have again beautiful like formatting, all information, and clicking the button.
yeah, this is like full functional check.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a good example of checklist that you can add into your GitHub repository if you have one, yeah, and to add like a link in your CV. Okay, look, I
Yeah.
can create such test
Or
documentation.
maybe starting from Google, uh, Google
Google Disk, yeah,
Disk, yeah. Folder. I would like to
folder, yeah.
forget. Yeah, okay. Filling all fields, cool. Then impossibility, because we have your
Negative
name
check.
within valid data and all you specify here what is negative. And then we have all other fields with valid data. And again, clicking the button.
Only, I suppose number 3 and 4 is just only special symbols and special
Yeah,
symbols. This is a
we
bad
can't.
example of copy past.
Yeah, we can't see
But
any
still,
difference here. Yeah, yeah, no difference.
maybe you
Just
will
copy
help
paste.
us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we move to the next field. It's your surname. Then like missing, but we have misinformation bold, but we have a phone invalid phone number. We have invalid format, right? Then we have like possibility the same data in mandatory fields. It was a question in yesterday in some of your work. We don't remember in what exactly, but this not answered, so we don't know will it work or no. But if you believe
Yeah,
so, okay.
it's a bad practice to create your test cases without knowing the
Mm-hmm.
exact system behavior. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's quite possible that it is impossible to create, yeah, to submit the form, but also it is possible that you can do it.
yeah,
So
why
ask
not?
the questions. In this case, if you're not sure, ask the question.
Yeah, 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 good. All empty fields. Again, it's possible, but maybe it's not the beginning. I would like to add here one is empty, other a field, right?
Yeah,
Be-
especially if we are talking about mandatory fields, you should
yeah, yeah,
recheck each one, yeah, like one by one
yeah. So you
with
should
all
start
other
with
fields
field with you should start.
validated.
Yeah, and just one to see where's the bug. Because, for example, if you have all fields in empty, click the button, you see an error, for example, you should then investigate in which exact field. But it's also possible that it's a combination of fields. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, again, the ability to follow the link. We are not checking the users, we are checking our application. So it's better to check that some page is opened after clicking on the link, right? Also, it shouldn't be like a separate verifications of warning message. So if you would like to verify them, you should add this instead of impossibility to create that warning message appears after user
Fill in the
fill
field
with
with
empty or
with
invalidate.
invalidate. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So you don't no need to do it a separate like verification. Okay.
And confirmation method, this is like expected result for your positive checks or
Yeah.
negative checks. Confirmation for positive, warning for negative. You will
Yes.
see
Yeah.
these messages when you will perform the
Yeah. Yeah.
checks
Yeah.
that you've
Uh,
described here.
so if you have like this type of verification, we like focus on function. But if you in your project you will create such list, uh, on from my experience, I added that confirmation message appears if by filling all fields with validator, so on. So here to add this information here, but very good, except that again the negative verifications should be created much more. Negative
Yeah,
verification should be
you
created.
need you need to create, yeah, much more negative verifications.
Mhm. And mm, here I would like to show to discuss with you one more important topic. So you see that we have like, for example, some what we can enter and some what we can't enter in our field. And here we should like to remember such testing type as the main testing, where we select some equivalence classes and boundary values and should verify all of them. And when we usually thinking about domain testing, we remember about verification of the length. So let's look at the example I prepared for you. What here should be verified. So first of all, when we are talking about positive verification, for sure we should verify something inside here, right? So positive verification will be from 5 to 50, and all any of the value you can select here. Then for when we are thinking about negative verifications, the next class will be all which is less than 5. Yeah, so here the second one. So your
The
verifications
second
should
class,
be
yeah.
the second class. Yeah, so your verification will be enter less than 5 English letters and numbers. Because the second part of the verification should be positive, and verify all this. The third class here is the more here, right, than 50. And this is the third one. When we are talking about the theory, usually we need to verify 5 and 50 and a 4 for sorry. And the 4, for example, and the 6, or
Yeah,
okay, this, and the
different
51,
approaches.
different approaches. Okay, but in a real life, usually we just do like uh, we just describe three test cases or three checks. The first one, the second, and the third. But when you are performing really start to perform testing, you can choose any from this class. So, for example, in one browser you choose 5, in other 36, and so on. I mean, in this first class. I hope it's clear for you. So don't forget to verify all these checks again. I think this all from this work. Yeah. So to
Yeah,
add more negative checks, but all other is not bad. Is very good. So next, who will be the next one? Let's see. Again, are you nervous today, or today it's more comfortable for you? Wow, and we have a
9.
9. And the winner is 9. Yeah. Okay. So it's very interesting work, and we would like to show
You
you. It's
remember
a
this work?
Yeah, because it's it has like this is a picture. It's a
Ah,
very
okay. Hmm.
it's interesting like type of a document. It is quite small, but
Could you
okay.
please like zoom a little?
I will try.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's better now.
a
Yeah.
little
So
bit.
sorry, I try to more.
Yeah,
So we
maybe it's
have
better.
a AT, but now I can't. How can? So priority we have smoke and 3 checks off extended with which written incorrectly. We have requirements. Okay, submodel
Min
description.
and expected result.
Yeah. So it not clear. Is it steps or is it a checks? Here we have a step, so it's like test cases we hope, but it's
Maybe
not.
it's GUI checks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's focused on GUI, not a functional one, but it's a good start. Don't forget, don't be shy to send any work to see the request. I believe now the sender see other works and understand what it should be done. But also we have some steps, some
Yeah, so
verification.
you've got some ideas about what
Yeah.
kind of document should be created. You know the attributes, yeah,
hmm
ID linked to the requirement, module, submodule, priority, yeah,
Yeah.
summary, description with steps and preconditions, yeah, expected result.
hmm
So now the idea is just to write down good functional check, yeah, be focused. Remember,
Yeah.
you are going to be functional testers, so your main focus is functional checks.
Yeah, absolutely. And title is missed here, so it's like very important issue. Never miss title or subject of your test cases, right?
Yeah, and one important point, if you are
Yeah.
talking about summaries, remember that summaries should always be like clear, short, and it's very important they to be unique.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that
Mm-hmm.
test
Mm-hmm.
cases are reusable. You will use the same test cases in different runs. You will have to take test cases for regressions and so on. So please, good summary is a very important point. Short, clear, unique.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. Okay, let's move on a few and review the next one. Okay, who will be the
Less
next
and
one?
less numbers
Yeah.
on the wheel.
Ah, 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 ah.
Two.
2. Okay, let's review the second. Here we have a PDF file. It's also, we recommend you to create your checklist of test cases in Excel file. Um, I will
Oh,
zoom
yeah, I
it. I
remember this
remember.
document. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Project checklist. You even got contents.
Yeah. Ah, awesome. Okay. No, no
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
So again, this is section description and result. So this checklist for testing very good, but what here we can see, it's not mostly like a checklist for verification, but this is a new way of providing
Describing
the requirements. Yeah, you see that. Okay, breadcrumb should be like this. Not that what is this one? This is not the title. What here we should
clickable leads
verify?
to the main page. That's great. And if I'm not mistaken, in this work, there are mostly GUI checks. Yeah.
Let's look
Let's
on
have a
it.
look.
So okay, input field is five symbols, except on in English. Asterisk close. Okay, yeah. What we should do with this like uh, this is good for from this is good document from a business analyst to explain the requirements, but not for testing.
Yeah, that's a very common mistakes when junior testers and maybe students who are just learning how to create test documentation. You are writing a lot of ideas for one field, but remember, in most cases, you cannot fill the fields. Yeah, you can fill, but to test fields separately. Yeah, you are testing the web form, you're testing like some kind of feature that it works properly. So like ideas, that's okay, but they are mostly GUI ideas. And
Hmm.
remember, do not test fields, test the form
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
whole. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay,
Still
but
great example.
yeah, very
like
beautiful.
you see, we've got some test cases with some checklist test cases with combining negative checks without summary, yeah, mostly GUI without functionals. So it's very useful to see such examples to understand your gaps. Good.
Hmm. Ludmila, do we have any questions? So, guys, is everything clear for you? Do you do you want maybe to ask something? No?
Are you with us?
Yeah. Okay, so let's review the next.
Today it's like a lecture from our side.
No questions. But you know what? This is the most hard topic, difficult topic, and tomorrow will be easier and more interesting and more
Maybe more
funny.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and more
As
favor
long
and
as here,
favorite.
thank you that you're with us.
Cool. So, who will be the next one? Six?
Yeah.
Six. Wow.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, it's possible that to have a doc file. It's okay.
Ludmila, question. Is it
Question.
possible? Yeah. Is it possible to check the operation of buttons in the smoke test without filling in all the fields?
Aha, good question. You know, it's for me like a philosophical question. There can be
Holy war
different.
starts here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. It
Yeah,
depends on my mood, I would say today. Sometimes
it,
I think yes, sometimes no. What,
yeah,
Ludmila, what do you think?
it's like the question, could negative tests be included in smoke test? Like theoretical answer will be no. But in practice, if the
Yeah.
project is like not brand new, not fresh start, of course there are some negative checks in the smoke. So like from the theoretical point of view, I think no, maybe check the operation of buttons in smoke test, yeah, like without filling the fields, is not a smoke. But on
Yeah.
the project, it's quite possible. So
You
this is
know
like,
what I'm sick now I'm thinking about that. Yes, we will verify the operation of button when we fill all field and press it, and we see the result confirmation message in our case. this is operation and correct operation. When we don't feel anything and pressing a button, so we do not just, this is not a smoke, this is not even a critical pass, this is extended because we try to do a lot of negative verification in one. So if we would like to check empty field, it should be just one empty field, not all the field. So for me, it's not a smoke test, but and for me it's not, you don't need to create such test case or verification in your test documentation. But when you starting to test your application, when the build come to you, you open your application, so it's, you can spend this 1 second just without feeling, just press the button and see the result.
I
So not,
suppose it also depends on the application, on the form, because if there are a lot of fields like we created for you,
yeah.
in naturally, in this case, yeah, just for practice, maybe yeah, it's not. But if it's like a couple of fields and this is like internal system when user expect that everything will be pre-filled for them and they like enter the system and click a login button, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
it depends.
Yeah, agree with
Oh,
you.
very interesting work. I remember
Very
this one.
interesting. Yeah. We,
Zoom, please. Could you?
oh, yes,
I
sure.
just I just look at myself and see that I'm closer and closer to the screen. Okay, it's high
I'm
time.
sorry. Everything for our
Yeah,
audience.
thank you for a question.
Yeah, good question, actually. Uh, uh, do you see that we didn't provide you one correct answer again? Whoops.
Yeah, this is this is the way we are teaching our students in the lab, because be flexible, be
Yeah,
mobile. If you
yeah.
do not know, like when we were talking about the levels of testing, yeah, there are different approaches. So it's cool when at the interview you can say something like that. Okay, in theory I think it's
Uh-huh.
impossible,
Yes, yes.
but I know that in practice this is a good variant, and so on. So just
Yeah, but about
sorry.
interviews and CVs is another big topic. Maybe we need to discuss it separately, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you think that we need this topic, share
Yeah,
your ideas. We will ask your feedback on Friday.
yeah,
So
yeah,
please share with us what would you like to learn.
yeah. So, Ludmila, you have a story about this checklist.
Yeah,
I think you can
yeah,
tell us.
actually, this is the checklist from a person who writes down the secret that she's actually working as QA, and or he, I do not remember the person.
Yeah,
Mm, Actually, it is automation QA, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
and there
yes.
is no like practice in manual testing. So when you will look through this document with us, it's so clear that it's like a developer point of view. It's good in some ways, but still, like, I don't know, we
For
are not
me,
accustomed to
yeah,
such
yeah.
documents.
Yeah, for me, it's a example of checklist like a set of ideas, and we need to add more details to make it testable, to make it clear and functional. So here, but this is a good. Here we have a
Yeah,
good ideas. Uh,
still, there are functional tests. For example, all mandatory items are addressed, input fields are filled with appropriate characters. Yeah,
Людмила, by
without
the
clicking the button.
yeah, yeah, without clicking the button. Yeah, what idea? Людмила, by the way, what is a happy pass?
Yeah, happy past. This is kind of developer, I suppose, term. We are more accustomed to positive checks. This is without any exceptions, classical standard scenario without exceptions, without invalid inputs. So this is happy pass.
Yeah,
And
cool.
again, here is like expected results in the form of expect error, expect success. That's cool. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. But again, here like one check. But how we can uh,
one
test
blank
this?
per check.
Yeah.
So here's important per check. So
Sorry.
this person
but
is
but
going to.
okay, I will. I'm going to test my application by this form where I should write this passed or failed. Where I should add this like this passed, this failed. How
Yeah,
it's
so
better
this
to
yeah
create a
this
table.
set of ideas are good. Some of them
Yeah,
are
yeah.
functional one. I suppose most of them are functional one. Like it's quite understandable that the person has a real
They are not
practice.
sorry, but I don't agree with you. They are not functional. That they verify just one field, but they can be the, uh, rewarded and become rewrite and become functional.
Yeah, they maybe yeah to rewrite to code it, to rewrite it for manual testing. A lot of good ideas, you
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
-1 +1, a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
ideas.
yeah. But again, checking just one field, right? Not all others.
Mm-hmm. Chicken button functionality, a lot of ideas.
Uh-huh. Ah, I remember what you're talking about. Maybe it was specified to fill all fields, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
in
It.
some checks, yeah, it was specified.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
And
I
very
remember, but
important, here is, could
it.
you please scroll down? Here is
Yeah.
some notes, yeah, and this is
Mm-hmm.
what makes us to, yeah, just to remember, just to recollect the information from the previous our meetup. There are some questions. So while creating this test documentation, you are like closer to actual testing. You're like imagine all the action that should be done. So more questions, more notes. And also if you will read these notes, you will see that this is a good example of questions from the development side, maybe from automation testers. If you remember, I mentioned it yesterday, yeah, that you will have your questions and the other team members will have their questions. Still very interesting work.
Yeah. Yeah. But it should be
Some
rewritten to make
functional
it.
checks, yeah, and like the main advice, do not concentrate on separate fields, provide full information for testing.
Mm-hmm. I think
Good, we
is
can
is
move on
quite yeah clear from
at
our
least.
previous task. I think that this all for tasks for verifications. We have 10 minutes left, and we would like to say that there was quite good tasks performed. It was more better, less. Good, but in general, good job. And I believe that after seeing our reviews and feedbacks on this works, you understand what good you have in your works and what is less good.
Yeah. Maybe some ideas. We would like to save a couple minutes in case you will have more questions.
Yeah.
But still, let's turn on to the form. A lot of fields and a lot of possible values and a lot of possible combination of these values. And you remember one of testing principles that exhaustive testing all the fields are impossible. So how to do it? One variant was presented to you by Ludmila Bear. She just like presented you domain testing, I suppose you know, like divide the data into classes and to select just one or a couple of representatives from each class. One more variant is pairwise testing. I do not know, do you know something about it or no? There is a great number of tools. There are desktop one which provide a lot of different possibilities. I will mention it. And also, you can just Google online pairwise tools and use it. What's the point of this tool? You can enter any fields here. I mean, title of the fields, I don't know, name, let it be, and so on, and also provide valid parameters. uh, it's just, yeah, like example. And now it's like, okay, if I have only two fields, that's maybe I can even create the test cases for all possible values. But in this case, you understand that it's impossible. So I created, yeah, like a set of all possible, yeah, not all possible. I've entered not even all possible, because all possible fields and labels of radio button, that was about 15. Then I've provided parameters valid, and if the field is optional, I've also like can add, for example, empty value and so on. And what is the idea? The idea is, do not test everything, but with the help of this tool, to generate random combination of values. It is believed in pairwise testing that while creating this random combination, you will not only reduce the number of the test cases, but it also provides enough effectiveness to test the application. And so if I will, I can also generate all possible combinations, but if I click generate pairwise, uh, that's a very important number for you that will appear here. Okay, 90,000 variants possible, yeah, and they can be covered only in 75 tests. If I open this document, I will have the table like that with 75 absolutely random combination. You can see empty, different age, and different values here. So it is believed that checking using this combination tool, yes, randomly generated, you can click like several times and you will receive different examples of these pairwise tools. But important point, this table of course can be used for testing, but the best practice is to create one test case, and then just step will be to choose this value, this value, this value, and repeat for each link. It will be one um, expected result. And some limitation if we are talking about these online tools. I've also opened Amazon. Why? Because pairwise tools are absolutely great for checking filters. You can see how many values here, and they all can be combined. It's like 3,000, 300,000 of them, and they can be easily combined into the acceptable number of test cases. One more word about the limitation. You cannot provide some specific connections. For example, if I have allergic to cat, I do not want to have a cat uh, generated, yeah, for my type of pets. In this case, there is a great tool, picked, like I suppose I can write it in the chat. You do not want to communicate with us. I will write to you picked. Yeah, this is like a desktop application, and you can use it and provide all kinds of limitations and restrictions you need. So this is one more approach to test design we would like to share with you. Just fill in like by hand, copy pasting from your requirements, one button, and no 90, 100,000, I don't know. Yeah, just acceptable amount of tests.
Yeah, because when we're talking about in theory, if you verify something and you change some parameter, all others should be unchangeable and you should verify all the possible combinations. But in real life, it's impossible. So if we have like our form or even more, for example, Amazon form with this a lot of types of filters, we need to reduce number of checks because you see it's impossible to do all 90,000 of verifications. So these tools can help you. And how to organize it? So you have this table. You can use it to create your checks in your format, which, for example, we see today, or even possible to just create one test case, for example, or one general verification, and then even put your this generated table in your testing documentation and use it just to add this status column. That's all. So it's also possible.
Yeah, maybe like summarize. Yeah, we've got 4 minutes to
Yeah.
summarize. We'd like to share with you common mistakes as it was promised from all other works and from the works from our practice. First of all, this is like the most common mistake: do not check fields separately. Yeah, that's possible. Of course, you can perform it like GUI check, but if we're talking about functional checks, remember that sometimes highlighting is in red and warning message means nothing. So,
Yeah.
full functional checks, no checking fields separately. The
Hmm.
second typical problem is combining negative checks. Again, it is like forbidden till the moment when you will check all the fields like separately. I mean, negative fill one fields and all other fields are filled correctly, filled with valid values. And in this case, you can go to this like a very extended check. What else? Do not forget to provide all the data you need for testing. If the checklist is the only documentation for your testing, you should like provide the list of all the fields, provide the list of range of valid data. Do not forget to provide the range of valid data in the steps of your test cases. Not only what can be input, but also how many symbols you can input as well. What else? Is summary, clear,
Yeah.
short, unique, and steps. Like the most common, I suppose, mistake with steps is that they can be really unclear. I remember like the most common mistakes from our lab is like confirm the action. What do you mean by confirms the action? Should I clap my hands or something like that? What, where should I look to confirm the action? What to click? So just provide clear information. Click OK button on the confirmation message. That's
Yeah,
the
we
main.
are functional testers, so we need to have like clear instruction what we need to click, to where to put, what to put.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember that you're creating one more important point. Remember that you're creating test documentation not for yourself. That's not like your personal artifacts you're going to store, you're not going to share with your team. Actually, you're creating test artifacts for your team. Yeah, maybe if you're the only tester on the project, in this extended case,
Yeah.
you can create, but
You
again, when
never
you will
know.
leave the
Yeah.
project,
Yes, yes. Or
you should.
maybe, for example, automation engineer will come to you and start to automate previous test cases. So, yeah,
Yeah, try to be objective. Try to
yeah,
like close your eyes, then open your eyes, look through the testing documentation and say, okay, is it understandable? Is it clear for anyone, even for a newcomer? So tomorrow a
yeah,
junior tester will come to you and he, she, they should have clear understanding what they
Yeah,
should do using your
absolutely.
documentation.
So your testing documentation should be testable by anyone, by a grandma from Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, we have no questions, so I think maybe we can uh, give you
Eh,
a 10 second to
yeah.
write something if you have any questions
Yeah,
or no.
to say us goodbye or to share last questions for us. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. We hope that it was really helpful for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, thank you for being with us. And please wait for a new interesting task tomorrow. So, and see you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we suppose tomorrow the task will be easier, more interesting. Like what testers do,
Yeah.
they are looking for bugs.
Yes, the
So
next
see you.
important step.
Bye.
Yeah, bye to everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.